Good day, ma'am. Good day, classmates. I'm gonna discuss to you first the four aspects of relationship between emotional disorder and delinquency. So, first aspect is ang delinquency behavior daw is a symptom of some underlying emotional disorder. So, the fact is, daghay delinquent acts na ang nagakumit. So, youth may na nagakumit ani. So, ang youth commit daw ani kasagaran sa youth is emotionally disturbed, and that some usually normal looking people commit criminal acts when under great emotional stress. Kanang kasagaran nagakumit ani kanang mga problema, emotional stress, emotional problema sa balay, family problem. Some delinquent behavior is a symptomatic acting out of a deeper and bigger problem. So mo ito wata kabalo ang mga youth na nagakomit ani is na family problem, problema sa ilang parents, suon, ana dito. Second is symptomatic behavior of emotional disturbance is likely to receive more attention when shown by a person change with or convicted of an act delinquency. A certain amount of delinquent behavior is a result of underlying emotional problems. So, a certain amount daw of delinquent behavior is mag-result of underlying emotional problems. So, mo to siya. The third aspect is because kay naaday greater focus ang sa emotional background on the delinquent youth than sa average person. More emotional problems may be given to the delinquent than to law-abiding youths. The deviant behavior may come from the emotional disorder, but in some cases, there may not be any causal connection between the two. In other words, ang delinquent daw kay emotionally disturbed, but the emotional disorders may not be related to the delinquent behavior. So, ang emotional disorders daw, dili daw siya related sa delinquent behavior. Number 4 aspects is, ang delinquent behavior daw kay mag-cause og emotional disorders. So, delinquent youths is mag-develop and induce emotional disturbance as a result of detention. Long-term incarceration or a variety of abnormal social forces involved in the administration of justice. An example would be normal delinquent youths who are committed to psychiatric wards of hospitals due to drug abuse, where kung asa ang emotional stress mag-produce daw personality problems not related to the use of prohibited drugs. So, juvenile delinquency have its characterization. First is incidence. Ang incidence daw sa delinquency is mag-accelerate, mataas or magsugod at the age of 13 and peaks at the age of 17. And ikaduha, the prevalence draw widespread youth. So, mukalat daw ni siya. Crime is in the society of different kinds of offending at each stage, and the percentage at persons imitating and terminating. Termination at about 18 or 19. Ikatulo is the gap between male and female involvement in status and non-victiming offense of serious types. 4. A large proportion of boys than girls having broken the law, and that boys break it frequently. So, usahay ra daw ng babae na mahimong youth delinquent, kasagaran ko daw is mga laki. So, 5 is sex ratio showing male involvements as value of goods stolen cases. So, kasagaran jud laki maoy ma-involve sa youth delinquent. So, there are stages of delinquency. First is emergence. The child begins with petty larceny between 8 and sometime during the 12th year. B. Exploration. Magsugod mo sila explore. He or she then may move on to shoplifting and vandalism between ages 12 to 14. Mag-shoplifting, mangawat, and magvandalism, magsulat-sulat, bisag asa nga kalye, sabi sa asa ray na space, magsulat-sulat. C. Explosion. At age of 13, there is a substantial increase in variety and seriousness. D. Conflagration. At around 15, 4 or more types of crime are added. So, natay classification sa delinquency. First is unsocialized aggression. So, mo ni sila ang rejected or abandoned. Gi-reject or gi-abandon na. No parents to imitate and become aggressive. So, wala sila parents nga kanang murag ma-love, ma-ana-ana. So, mo nang makabuhat sila ng delinquency. Second is socialized delinquency. Membership in fraternities or group that advocate bad things. So, mga fraternities kanang padol-padol niya, sugo-sugoon sila. Sugoon sila buhato na. 3 is over-inhibited. Groups secretly trained to do illegal activities like marijuana cultivation. So, over-inhibited. So, amo naman ata ng mga gangs, ba? So, we have pathway to delinquency. Number 1, authority conflict pathway. Begins at, magsugod ni siya at early age with stubborn behavior, kanang pagkagahig ulo. This leads to defiance and then to authority avoidance. 2, covert pathway. So, magsugod ni siya with minor, underhanded behavior that leads to property damage. Makabuhat na sila, makadaot na sila og mga property. This behavior eventually escalates in more serious form of criminality. Number 3, overt pathway escalates to aggressive acts beginning with aggression and leading to physical fighting and then to violence. So, magsugod sila og agresibo, aggression, leading to physical fighting, pag-away na sila, and then to violence, kaya na nila mo patay. So, there, natay classes sa juvenile delinquency tendencies. Number 1 is malicious. Expression, mo siya ang expression of defiance. Number 2, negativistic. Changeable attitudes like not being satisfied with status. Magbago-bago ang attitude kaya di siya gana sa status sa iyang kinabuhi. 3, non-utilitarian. Vandalistic attitude like graffiti. Number 4 is hedonistic. Muna siya ang magbuhat og daotan para sa iyang pleasure, para sa iyang kalipay. So, natay types sa delinquent youth. So, delinquent youth may be grouped according to manner in which their personality types define and affect their delinquent behavior. So, first is socialized delinquents. Mahimo silang delinquents as a result of their social association. Sobrang pakipaghalubilo sa mga tao from within they learn kung asa sila nakabaluan ng divine values. They are more likely to become property violators than violent offenders. Second, neurotic delinquents. These youths become delinquents as a result of distortions in their personality. Mahimo daw silang delinquent youth kay tungod sa distortion sa ilang personality. And their ideas and ang ilang idea, perception sa world around them. They may commit delinquent acts because of their insecurities. Kanang insecurities nila. Kasuya, saba, kanang kakulangan about their masculinity. Insecurities nila sa ilang masculinity or neurotic compulsion. For example, youth na mahimong kleptomaniacs, shoplifters, and pyromaniacs have neurotic compulsion. So, shoplifters, kawatan, so aning pyromaniacs mo ning then usually compulsions that usually result in delinquent behavior. So, number 3, psychotic delinquents. There are youths with severe personality disorders have a significantly distorted perception of the society and people around them, unlike socialized offenders. Psychotic delinquents. Ano silang youth nga na ay grabe na nga personality disorders. So, unlike socialized offenders, dili nila iplanuhon ilahang buhaton na crime. Their distorted view of reality and their delusional thoughts may compel them to commit weird acts that violates the law. Psychotic offender are likely to commit acts of violence, including murder. So, psychotic offender, mao ni silang nagakommit og acts of violence nga kaya na mo patay. This category includes those youths who tend to commit the most heinous and senseless acts of violence. Number 4 is sociopathic delinquents. Kanina mga youth is characterized by an egocentric personality. They have limited or no comparison for others. Because of this character defect, they can easily victimize. Dali ra sila makabiktima og laing tao with little or no anxiety. Walay, hindi sila mag-guilt. Anxiety or no guilt. A sociopathic element is present in many delinquents, but not at all delinquents are sociopaths. Many violent gangster sociopath. So, napatay laing way para i-classify ang isa ka delinquent offender. So, first is environmental delinquents. They are the occasional lawbreakers. Occasional lawbreakers daw from the word law breakers. Tigdaot sa balaod, tigsuway sa balaod. So, number 2, emotionally maladjusted delinquents. These delinquents are the chronic law breakers who make breaking of laws a habit. So, perminti na daw nila buhaton magsigig pasaway. Kanang magsigig suway sa balaod. Gina patupad sa atong government. They cannot avoid or escape from. Nahimo na nilang habit, gusto na nila buhaton perminti. 3 is psychiatric delinquents. They are persons who become delinquent due to mental illness. So, mahimo ra silang delinquent kay naman sila sakit sa panghuna-huna due to kaning mental illness or serious emotional disturbances in the family. So, serious from the word serious emotional disturbances in the family problem. So napay tulo ka klase para maklasify ang delinquents. First is occasional delinquents. Those delinquents participate in a group. Nag-participate sila sa isa ka grupo. Na sila'y pariha or similar characteristics pa, parihag mga panguna-una, pareha sila gusto, they have common or similar kapare-pareha nga characteristics. They are, ginatawag nga sila og pro-social. So, second is, mo ni sila ang ginatawag nga, they do what others doing. Tawag is, gang delinquents. They generally, silang tanan yun sa isa ka gang is nagakommit og most serious na kaayo nga infractions. Most often sent to a correctional institution. Mo ni silang grabe nag mga ginabuhat. Serious na gid kaayo. and most often contributes in a pattern of semi-professional criminal behavior for adults. Ginabuhat na nila ang krimen nga ginabuhat sa adults. 3 is maladjusted delinquents. The activity stems from personality disturbances rather than gang activity. Mora ma'am, thank you. Sorry kaayo. Ora ni.